It is a happy day. It is a happy day. It feels like my birthday. Like Christmas when we play. And when I'm sad or scared, I trust that God does care. 'Cause sun shines every day. It is a happy day today. Hi, kids. Oh, wow. We got a good one for you today. I was reading Proverbs today and thinking about how I used to yell at my daughter, and so I wanted to apologize on behalf of moms and dads that yell at you. There's a proverb we'll read in a minute, but first of all, let's get this out of the way. Parents have problems before they have babies, and they feel bad about themselves, or they were hurt when they were little too. And so when you come into the world and you stir up some old pain from their childhood or their adulthood, they they yell back at you, but it has nothing to do with you. So I just want to apologize to you for your parents being rude to you or abusive or yelling. I From the bottom of my heart, guys, I am so sorry. I This is for my daughter too. I am so sorry that I did that much damage with my mouth, because there's life and death in the tongue, man. And I apologize and say it was my stuff. I own it, you know? And I'm sorry. Totally sorry. I was wrong. Very wrong for acting angry toward you, because parenting is a coaching job. It's not a try to squelch your spirit with fear and intimidation job. So if you have a problem with anger, moms and dads, and you can't seem to parent without it, and spanking is the only tool in your toolbox, or yelling, or intimidating, or hurting them in some way, physically or emotionally, I would highly recommend loveandlogic.com. I would also highly recommend Danny Silk on YouTube. He uses the love and logic, but through a biblical lens, and he couples it with the fact that God made us for freedom. So when we're being parented by somebody who is threatened by our big soul in our little body, and they try to squelch us with fear, then they are threatening our existing freedom, our existence. And so there's just a real war that goes on between parents and kids at that point. So, kids, I am so sorry that you get yelled at. I am so sorry that you get neglected and ignored. I am so sorry that you get abused in any way. God sees it, and He will take care of it one day. Trust that. If anybody hurts you and does not say, "Hey God, I messed up. I'm sorry," like I'm doing right now, if the adults don't ever do that, they're going to have a tough time dealing with God when they come to the end of their life and they have to measure up. So, parents, there's no shame in apologizing to your kids and saying, "Hey, I just got fired from my job, honey, and I just stepped on one more toy that I didn't need to step on the other day, and I am really stressed out with this quarantine. I'm really stressed out with being at home. I'm not used to this, and no adult interaction, so I'm sorry I took it out on you. I'm going to go ahead and call a friend, or I'm going to go ahead and go to therapy and deal with it." And so our kids are not our emotional punching bags. Um, and So, kids, I'm very sorry. As a mom, I have a daughter, and I was mean to her. I would take out all my anger and fear out on her, and I didn't know how to give or receive love, and I was very lonely and very scared trying to raise a kid in isolation, and it was just toxic. I mean, I look back on it now, I can't believe how toxic I created my home life, you know. So that's heavy duty stuff, but you know what? Adults need to apologize to kids when they're wrong, and if they don't, they're acting like they don't have any shame, and they're acting shameless, and that is crazy making, folks. So please, when you step over the line and you cross emotional, physical boundaries, get help, and apologize. And, if you have to, apologize often. It'll keep your pride in check. So let's go ahead and dive in to the mailbox here. We got our Mr. Rabbits. So, hi, Mr. Rabbits. How's it going? And we got our mail here. Let's see, it says, kindness and love are wiser than anger and hate. Wow, that's a nice modern proverb. Psalm 91:11 and Proverbs 29:11. Today's the 29th, and they're both 11s. That's cool. 11's a special number. It's kind of an angel number to me. Thanks, rabbits. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. They don't talk much. Rabbits aren't very verbal. Let's start with the Proverbs today, okay? This is where God showed me to apologize to kids today on behalf of moms and dads. Proverbs 29:11 says, a fool gives a full expression to his spirit, but a wise person quietly holds it back. So we think in our culture, Gen Xers and Gen Yers and millennials that are maybe having kids at this point, we think it's good to express our feelings whenever we have them. Not so. That's not what the old good book says here. It says it's foolish to give full expression to your spirit. It's not wise. You know what it does? It feels good. It's like drinking. It's like driving fast and running red lights. When you use your mouth to express that much, it's not wise. So journaling to God every day, parents. And kids, if you have problems in your life, you can write to me. I'm going to get a P.O. box this month. And right now you can email me at mrskookje5@gmail.com. I'll have my email in there. And look who we got today, Mr. Honey. I was eating all of his honey, so he's a little light. There. Hi, guys. How you doing? Thanks for apologizing, Miss Cookie. That made me feel better, because I thought my parents were perfect and they never made mistakes. Oh, we make mistakes, all right. And we can only do good by God's grace. So, thanks, Mr. Honey. I appreciate that appreciation. Okay, let's go to Psalm 91. Do you want to read it first today, Mr. Honey? Yeah, I want to read. It says, he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Wow. God actually commands his angels to guard us, little old us? Yeah, that's what they're here for. They're our servants, kind of. But they're more powerful than we are in a lot of ways. Wow, that's awesome. God will command his angels concerning us to guard us in all of our ways. What does that mean? I think for me that would mean God is my bodyguard in all my ways. And my ways is the way I live life, the way I think, the way I feel, the way I relate. And if you get like a yucky feeling after hanging out with somebody new, that's probably God trying to guard you, saying, keep your distance. They're not going to be a good friend. They're not very trustworthy. They don't know God's love yet. And we don't want to get close to people who don't love themselves, because they're going to hurt us. They're just going to try to drag us down. Wow, that is really wise, Mr. Honey. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I did have a yucky feeling recently. I'm trying to make new friends, and I'm just sprouting out, and I'm not in the best environment. So the only people I have to relate to right now are people that probably are a little bit depressed and forgot their dreams and their potential. And so they're not living their best life now. And so if you get a chance to get that book, My Best Life Now, Your Best Life Now by Joel Osteen, I'm going to buy it this week and read it, because I love Joel Osteen. And yeah, they're not safe. That's all I can say. If you get a yucky feeling after hanging out with them, that's a sign that they're not good for you. So just pray, God, I just pray for me and the kids that we have godly, good, healthy friends, and that you would just almost repel people away from us that are not healthy, that are trying to drain us, that are trying to distract us, maybe not even on purpose. They just don't have a lot going on in their lives, and they're not very busy, and so they don't like us being busy. But we're going places. We got to work. We got to do our meetings. We got to do our church. We got to do our jobs. And so, Lord, I just pray a special protection would start today, and especially starting tomorrow, May 1st. 5 is the number for grace. Is today the 29th? Yeah, 30th. I think May 1st happens in 2 days. But I feel like there's going to be a switch in the spirit starting May 1st that almost repels people that aren't supposed to be in our lives. And you can do that just by shutting it down, just saying, hey, you know what? I am working on a project right now. Can you help me out and maybe not knock on my door all the time, but just text me? Because I need to know I'm safe here and that I'm not going to get interrupted with sounds. Because knocking on my door when I'm trying to do my sales calls, it really interrupts my work. And I'm working really hard to get out of here. So if you can help me out and be on my team, I would really appreciate it. And if you need any blessings or any help with anything, I would love to bless you and celebrate with you when I get done with this contest. So you can set boundaries with people if they don't understand why you're pulling away from them. Just let them know. I'm working right now on cleaning my room, on organizing my time, on reading my Bible, on journaling in my workbook, talking to God. You can just write, Dear God, in your journal. And you can even take a picture of it and send it to me and share it with me. That would be awesome. But mainly talk to God. Mainly write letters to God. That's who I'm trying to point you to is God. But it's fun to talk to a human too. I understand that as a kid. But kids are very sensitive. They can almost see the spirit realm easier than adults can. So it might actually be easier for you to relate to God now. You're very lucky as a child to do this. So yeah, those are my things today, and we'll go ahead and take our vitamins and call it a good day, okay? Let's see, today's Wednesday. You know what that means. We're gonna have a special day. There we go. Got me vit. Don't get Flintstones. They're way too tough, and they are a choking hazard. If you can, get the little soft ones that look like berries from nature. It's called something nature. Okay? And we got Mr. Honey Badger's doing great. He went off and saw his family, and he got some healing here, and we kind of healed him up and loved on him. And sometimes that's what God does. He'll send us out for a while to heal us up, and then he'll send us back to our homes. And that's what he did for me. He moved me to Santa Barbara for 4 months, and the Santa Barbara House of Prayer with Jorah, Liz, and Shelly, and Jen, and Austin, and Seth, and that beautiful lady with the blonde curly hair. I mean, I got to go to their Christmas party. I got loved on, you guys, by the body of Christ. It was so powerful that it changed me forever. And so sometimes when we're just stuck, God will take us places to heal us and then send us back home. So I'm grateful to be back in Bakersfield. That's it for today. We're running out of time, but I just want to tell you I love you. Mr. Honey loves you, and most of all, God loves you, and you're very special. See you tomorrow.